On this week's State Champs Esports show, we've got highlights from the fall finals of Esports Ohio, Play Versus, and the IHSEA. Welcome to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Candace, and this week we've got a ton of highlights as many leagues finish up their season. We'll have that and much more, but first, let's thank Lawrence Tech and Hungry Howie's Pizza for helping us bring you the show. Last week, we featured the IHSEF, and this week, we're headed down to a similar teacher-led nonprofit. The Illinois High School Esports Association had their Overwatch Finals, and Ethan has the highlights.
I'm Ethan Avery, reporting in for the Overwatch Grand Finals. Here on map 1 between the two powerhouses, the Dolphins look to take charge early. Cosine lands a massive Earth Shatter, and Red Frost follows up with an ult 2, helping them go up 1-0. But the Huskies would respond on map 2. IHSEA with a double pulse bomb plus 2 more elims. It's a 4K for the Huskies Tracer, and they tie it up 1-1. Then on map 3, let's show the tank players some love. Zhongi with not one, but 2 huge plays with the Wrecking Ball on Li Jiang to give the Huskies control of the match, putting them up 2-1. And it was all Huskies the rest of the way. IHSEA and Excel cleaning up. The Huskies will go on to win 3 maps to 1.
Play Versus is a national esports organization, and they just held their Michigan Rocket League Finals.
The Play VS Rocket League tournament recently crowned a champion in the state of Michigan. Lowell and Dakota, the 2 squads making it into the finals. Dakota fresh off their win from the IHSEF tourney, but this team made up with different players and they call themselves the Rats. Can the Red Arrows exterminate the Rats, or did Dakota claim their second title in as many days, adding to their collection? The Rats made a statement in the first game, but the first goal came in just over a minute into play, and the scoring frenzy continued. Count them up, 5 goals for Dakota and shutting out Lowell. The second game started off with Dakota going up 2. And finally, the Red Arrows broke the goose egg, getting a goal of their own to keep the match close. But the Rats continued to infest the net, taking game 2, final score 5-1. Lowell comes back fighting in game 3, leading 1-0, but the tie was broke a minute later, and this close one needed overtime to decide a winner. Just 14 seconds in, Dakota has the players in the right place, right time. The Rats go up 3-0. Game 4, we jump right into overtime. Dakota scores 15 seconds in off the second attempt to become champions, but gives some credit to the Red Arrows for forcing overtime the past 2. Congratulations to Dakota on winning the 2020 Play VS Rocket League State Championship.
Let's take a break from the highlights and talk to the Melvindale Esports team. They are the state champions of the IHSEF Overwatch fall season.
Joel Graves here, and with our upcoming Overwatch tournament in the spring, we have the captain and coach for Melvindale, Sebastian and Kyle. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. Thank you for asking.
We're doing good.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about the program and what you guys do over at Melvindale?
So we started with League of Legends 2 years ago. We introduced Overwatch last year and introduced Rocket League this year. And now we're introducing, after the first of the year, we're introducing Valorant. We're just a high school program. We're actually a middle school program too. So our age ranges from 6th grade to seniors.
With this upcoming tournament and you guys coming off of this last tournament, I've heard that you guys' team is really top performing. So Sebastian, what do you feel and how do you feel you're going to perform in this upcoming tournament at State Champs?
I think we'll perform very well. We have a lot of synergy with our team, especially with our tournament matches that we played. We've just come a long way, and I feel like we're going to do very well regardless, win or lose. So.
And how long has the Overwatch team been together? Have you had new players, old players, or have you guys been playing since the beginning?
So we had some people graduate last year, or people leave the program, and we had 2 new players this year. Actually, they just picked up Overwatch. They picked up Overwatch in September, so
So, with the program over at Melvindale, how did it begin? Was it a conversation with upper administration, or was it students pushing for a program of sorts?
I think it was a combination of both. I know the person that runs the program, Coach Bright, he came from a different school district where they had esports, which he helped launch that program there. So I think he saw an opportunity to bring that to Melvindale and let the students participate, let the volunteers participate, and build something big.
And Sebastian, with you guys just winning the Michigan High School Esports Federation's Overwatch tournament, and you're the captain of the Melvindale Overwatch team, are there any other games that you play other than Overwatch?
Yeah, for sure. So as my shirt says right now, I'm mainly playing Cyberpunk, but I do like to play, single player games and multiplayer games. And the multiplayer games that I'm playing right now, at least, are Apex Legends and then Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer right now.
Well, I think that wraps it up for our interview today. Thank you, Sebastian and Kyle, for coming out.
Thanks, Joel. Melvindale has 3 teams that will be competing in our Overwatch tournament. Sign up your team today at statechampsesports.net. The deadline is January 4th. Esports Ohio is another teacher-run state organization, and they recently hosted several championship matches. Here's Kevin with the breakdown.
The other week, Esports Ohio crowned a few champions on their Twitch channel in League of Legends, Valorant, and Super Smash Bros. For their 2020 fall tournament. Let's start with League of Legends, where number 5 seeded Worthington Kilburn and number 2 Akron STEM duked it out. Worthington Kilburn proved to be too much for Akron STEM, and Worthington Kilburn is your League of Legends Fall Grand Finals champion. Now, switching over to Valorant. Number 4, Oak Hills A taking on a familiar name. Number 2, Akron STEM. First game went the distance, going into extra play. Akron STEM pulling out the dub 16-14. But back came Oak Hills in Game 2. They would take this one rather easily, forcing a Game 3, 14-7. And Game 3 saw the first few rounds in a tight place. Once Oak Hills took control, they never looked back. And Oak Hills A squad lifting the Valorant Fall Grand Finals Championship. And finally, we recap the family favorite Super Smash Bros. Number 1, New Albany versus number 2, Perrysburg. First set of rounds were great, but it was Perrysburg going up 1-0. New Albany would fight back in the next 2 and go up 2-1. New Albany could not shut the door on Perrysburg just yet, forcing one last fight. In the end, it was New Albany coming out on top and is your Super Smash Bros. Grand Finals champion.
We'll have more highlights from Esports Ohio coming up later, but first, we have a review of the game that everyone's talking about, Cyberpunk 2077. Here's our new contributor, Harez, with his take on it.
Today, we're going to be covering the highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk finally released on December 10th. While the game had a bit of a rocky launch due to some bugs and glitches, it came to an overall very excited player base. Jumping right into making a new character, you have a lot of options to mess with. And I do mean a lot. From teeth to nails to cyberware in your face to crazy hair color and beard combos, and yes, even that. One thing to keep in mind though is that there really is only 2 voice options, male and female, and there isn't much room for body weight customization. Despite this, you'll be able to make some pretty awesome looking characters, and crazy ones too if you're into that. The combat itself is pretty slick. Gunplay feels nice, getting headshots actually feels powerful, although it is an RPG so it won't be an instant headshot. However, one thing I noticed is the melee combat can feel a bit clunky in regards to the fact that it doesn't really swing or block with the way you're moving, but other than that, it's very, very smooth. On top of all this, there's also huge amounts of customizable guns, gear, clothes, all with their own stats and random bonuses. Not to mention, you like that one leather jacket you got a lot? With the crafting system, you can keep upgrading the gear that you like and keep it relevant stat-wise. I know it's one of my favorite features because I can't get enough of these sick aviators. One of my favorite aspects of this game is the ability to add cybernetics, which are body modifications. You can use these to jump higher, fight with blades in your arms, or even slow down time during combat. There have been a few glitches and crashes, primarily on the old gen consoles, however there have been a few on newer gen and PC as well. CD Projekt Red has already addressed a few of these, made a couple patches. There are going to be some bigger ones coming out for the old-gen consoles. Personally, I didn't really come across any. The story is fantastic. It feels refreshing and different from a lot of games recently, taking place over a huge map. I'm about 30 hours or so in myself, and I'm still enjoying the story. It's well paced, gives you time to explore. Almost every side quest gives you more lore about Night City, or ties back into the main story. You play as V, a new merc coming into Night City through a prologue that is different depending on which path you chose in the very beginning of character customization. You then proceed to make a name for yourself in the city, with gangs, cops, and even doing different kinds of bounties and bounty hunting here and there in between. All in all, even with some small issues, the game is a blast. Since I got it, I haven't been able to play anything else. If you're a fan of RPGs, action games, or hell, just like to explore, this is the game for you.
Ethan is back with another Overwatch recap, this time for Esports Ohio Finals.
Let's take a look at some Ohio action. First map, Ukami with the 5K for Worthington Kilbourne. They would take map 1. Candle for Shaker Heights would respond in map 2 with a big ult though. The Wrecking Ball Minefield picks up 3, helping them tie the series up 1-1. On to map 3, Scarrow spins to win, and that Blossom helps put Shaker Heights up 2-1. Map 4, Mayhem Rules shows supports can aim 2. Mayhem picks up 3 to put the game at match point, and Candle would put the exclamation point on the series as Shaker Heights comes back to win 4 maps straight, and they take the title in Ohio.
That's it for this week. We'll be back next time with the first of 2 year-end special episodes. I'm Candace, and for everyone at State Champs Esports, thank you for watching.